Vortex. I'm doing what I always said I was going to do. Sitting in front of a bookcase. Maybe I should do a podcast and pretend that I'm conservative. Now, I never wanted to get into politics. The whole reason why I started doing YouTube was because I am a mentally ill person that refuses to take medication, and I feel like there's a lot that needs to be said that's not being said about the internet and how bad it is, and how, like, technology, that's the great replacement. It's not. I mean, you can talk about immigrants all day, but, like, that's been happening, honey, since, like, the 60s. And then the 80s with Ronald Reagan. And yeah, I'm gonna stand all that shit. But what am I gonna play? Let's play this one though. But I love these chords so much. I'm not a musician. I'm just a comedian that's not out of touch with all the stuff in the country that I reside in. Never felt a part of it, 'cause I don't vibe with most of the people that live here. No, we don't vibe, we don't vibe, we don't vibe. But I thrive when I'm alone. Please don't bother me unless I ask you to. Even if I ask you to, don't bother me for very long, because I can't stand it. I have to be by myself. And if I don't, I'll make you feel like shit. For bothering me, I told you not to. I hate that about myself, but it's just the way that I'm wired. I feel like a eunuch or something. 'Cause every time I have that special someone, I can't wait for them to up and die. Or, well, me really. I'm just fantasize about killing myself. And that's not his fault. Well, that's not his fault. That's never his fault. It's never his fault. It's never his fault. It's never his fault. Just to let you know, if you're a man and you're dealing with some crazy psycho bitch, yeah, it's probably not your fault. Okay? I mean, it is your fault because you're with her, but you probably want to see the good in her, or, she probably has some positive qualities, but I used to think that women have borderline personality disorder, that, like, all women deal with that, but the more that I analyzed, the more I changed my mind on that, and I think that they're just straight up narcissists. Like, covert narcissists. A lot of them are overt about it now, but that's just because of the media. I think that most of them are covert narcissists, though. And if you think about it, it makes sense in relation to the fall. Eve trusted the serpent, and what was the serpent's problem? Pride. Okay? Women are the whole reason why gays are doing all the crazy shit that they're doing, so it makes sense that it comes back around, you know? It really is coming full circle with all, like, the trans women in women's sports, whatever the fuck that. I mean, like, women's sports is already a joke, so it figures that they would add that to the mix, you know? It's funny, though. I think it's funny. And it just kind of proves that, like, all these conservatives aren't really conservative if they're, like, okay with, well, women I'm looking at it from a psychological angle, okay? A lot of people are going to assume it's just religious. No. I've been studying women since the late 80s, and they lie, they're emotionally manipulative, and they are very insecure. Which is why they lie and they're emotionally manipulative, you know? They're narcissists. Narcissists don't know how to deal with criticism. They don't know how to accept the fact that they're at fault sometimes. Not all the time, but yeah, most of the time. And they always make everything about them. And they're typically not funny. Okay? Sometimes they are, though. But yeah, we've been studying mental illness for 20 years now. Isn't that crazy? Well, technically I've been studying it my whole life. Because I've always, studied America. And, like, trying to figure out why people like living here. But I'm also an orphan, so that makes sense. Like, why I just feel so out of place no matter what. Because I'm a reject. But at least I wasn't aborted. But because of this experience, I feel like I got leverage to talk about this in a way that no one else can. But I feel that way about a lot of things, 'cause I've studied them. That's all I do is study things. I'm like a detective. 'Cause all the fruit it brings, I can share with everyone. Doesn't have the time to do the research that I've done. And they can benefit from the knowledge that I have. And you don't have to agree with me. I'm right. Because I pay attention, do the research, and I admit when I'm wrong. And I wear mismatched socks that I purposely mismatch myself. And nobody else does it for you. Nobody else does it for me. Because I have a man in my head. Did you hear him? He makes the decisions, right? You see, that's why I don't need an actual man with an actual penis, okay? It's so crazy to me that people want to have sex. Like, I have been really in love with past boyfriends back when I was not a Christian, okay? My parents aren't religious. This world that we live in is so fucking secular, it's ridiculous, okay? So, I'm not, like, making a case for bad behavior, but what I'm trying to make people understand is why bad behavior happens. You can keep saying, oh, it's because you're just a bad person. Or maybe the culture is terrible. This country encourages women to totally debase themselves, whether they do that in the workplace, or they do that online, or they do that in the education system, okay? Why wouldn't they have sex with as many people as possible, And then they tell themselves, because they're convinced of this by their professors, they're convinced of this by celebrities, and all these pieces of shit that they listen to, they're literally paying them, whether they're paying them with actual money or they're paying them with their attention, their time, this hope that they give to these false gods of, do this and maybe you'll be secure. Do this and maybe you'll wake up and not want to slit your wrists like you have always wanted to your entire life, but you can't make a decision because you're a woman. That they listen to them because they're so desperate for that. And I feel sorry for them. I really do. So when I say that, I legit mean it. And so however hard I seem on women, it's really because I care for them and I want them to do better than they have allowed themselves. But this is what I say to people that are really hard on them, that don't have this empathy that yours truly clearly possesses over here. It's like, look at the culture, dude. Look at the culture. Look at this country. This country is a shithole, okay? The education system is, it's a system. It's a system of, let's make everybody that goes to the university as miserable as possible, and let's help them to obsess about identity so they can pretend that they're not insecure, okay? Because, that's not just females, that's like, all identity politics is like that. But the technology is like nothing I've ever seen. It's horrible. It's the worst aspect of this culture, and nobody's talking about it but me. So, if anybody else is talking about it, they're a raging hypocrite because they all have smartphones. And I'm sure that they have plenty of social media handles. The only reason I have a Rumble account is because I pretty much figured that I would get knocked off YouTube, but I'm realizing that I'm too unimportant for that to happen. So, you had a bitch shoot, too. Yeah, for like a minute. And then somebody, accused me of, being a Zionist because I had a Hebrew Bible. It wasn't even, Hebrew. It was one of those, Restoration Bibles. So it had the word book in Hebrew on the front of it. It says Sefer. And somebody said something about that. I don't trust her. Because of that. Because that's what they do. Everybody just, picks you apart based off of, your attributes or, what they think you are, what they tell themselves you are online with a bunch of people that also don't know you. So that was the end of that, and it wasn't, I just forgot about that website. I always forget that is still technically on there. Because so much on the internet, it just stays there until eventually it just dies off. It's like a, dead skin or something. That was, the worst comparison ever, dude, because dead skin, it's literally falling off of you all the time. Yeah, okay, never mind. Well, we'll come up with a better metaphor later, if we remember. Probably not, though. But anyway. Yeah, so, anyway, I was talking about this culture. And how shitty it is. Let's see, let's do some woman chords. What are good woman chords? Sad and depressing chords. What? Okay. There was another chord that I really liked. I don't remember what it was. Ah, that's beautiful. No, this is the same shit. Sadder chords, way sadder chords. We're talking about women. I kind of like this though, whatever this is. Ooh, whatever. Okay, so this is my little ditty about women. There's a part of me that thinks that they deserve to feel shitty because of everything that they do to themselves, but you have to keep in mind that they're convinced to do this from so many angles and so many people. They don't have their best interests, but they pretend to. So if women are dumb and women are insecure, what do you think they're gonna do next? I'm just saying. I don't expect very much from our society. Our society is so out of touch. That's why they're so mad, so mad, so mad. You can't be a libertarian in a society that doesn't have integrity. You can't be a live and let live with people that want you dead. You can't. But yeah, I feel sorry for people that can't see it. They're only looking at a teeny tiny sliver of the picture, but they want to say that they know what's better, they know what's better, they know what's better. All you do is stare at a phone. I wouldn't think that you're oh so clever, clever, clever. Oh wow, you made another meme. Congratulations. Did that change any motherfucking thing? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. I can make people delete their apps. Can you do that? Can you do that? I can make people reconsider everything that they think that they know about stuff. Can you do that? Probably not. Probably not, but at least you got your time slot. That's all they care about. I can talk to these people about things that I pretend are going on. I can talk to these people about my opinions on the world. Wow, that's so awesome. Fuck, nobody's doing that shit. Who has a podcast? Nobody, man. I mean, that's really original, dude. Anyway. It's like 1:30 in the morning, and we were playing keyboard on the floor. It's totally unnecessary, but we always have the heater on. And we're drinking non-alcoholic beer. Who else is doing that shit?